What's up? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is the all-in-one drone L6082 Air Genius, the cutting edge of quality and convenience. From Lishy Toys. Transform the way you fly is their little catchphrase, and this is the Air Genius right here. And this guy is a little drone that transforms from drone to glider and also airship, they're calling it. But this thing is, I guess, a little hovercraft. It doesn't go over water. It's only operational on smooth surfaces. Check it out. It's hollow on the bottom, but I'm guessing the cushion of air that the props create from pushing down in this thing allows it to float on air and travel as an airship or a hovercraft or whatever you want to call it. But this little Air Genius I have found to be quite some fun flying it around indoors, particularly the glider mode here. This little quad attaches to this foam and this little piece of plastic to give you different ways to fly this thing or have fun with it. You're not flying when you're running it on the floor with this one, but you can fly it as the drone or you can fly it as the glider. It has a little switch on the bottom of the back there, and you can pull that switch back and it allows for the rear motors to rotate upwards. And so it has different angles that you can have it at. And this 90-degree angle here is for this airship here. It goes down into here to become a hovercraft. And then you can rotate the motors. I think this is 45 degrees. And it can go into this piece of foam here to become a glider. And so I guess you can say this is gimmicky, but it's actually quite fun to fly this thing around in the glider mode. And I have tried it on the airship mode on the floor, and it's just like a little hovercraft or whatnot. It has a pretty decent turn radius and all, but it does not go over water, and it's only operational on a smooth surface. And so kind of limited on the floor with it. But as far as the glider thing, I'm guessing that you're wondering if this thing can fly outdoors. Well, in this video, I do give you a glimpse of how it is to fly this thing outdoors. It's not going to handle wind well at all. It's not really going to be gliding that efficiently because it's actually keeping itself in the air from the pushing from these props here, the airflow of the props. As long as you keep some throttle going on it, and you'll stay in the air. And it's a pretty neat little quad flying that way. It's I guess you can say it's gliding. And it looks pretty smooth when you're turning. You can bank nice turns and all with it. It has different modes here on the transmitter that changes the way you control this thing. And so we have this button over here to change it to glider mode. And once you're in glider mode, it's not the traditional controls of a drone that we're used to. This becomes the yaw right here when you move side to side on the right stick, as opposed to the yaw being over here on the left stick with the throttle. So the throttle will be over here. Moving it side to side will do nothing, but you can raise throttle to make it go up or down, and this will make it press forward or pull back and try to hover, and this would control the yaw. And so then you can switch it to this side here, which is the airship side, and that cuts off the accelerometer and gyro altogether and just allows you to push forward with the props here in the rear and all. And so controlling it with this right stick, you would press forward to go forward, and you would press either side to turn to either side, and that will make the props on one side spin harder than the other side, whichever side that you're turning into. And at the same time, the props on the bottom would just be creating an airflow for this little hovercraft to stay afloat on a cushion of air. And so pretty neat little concept. They have a little lighting system on the back right here where it says Air Genius that actually lights up to let you know which mode that you're in. When this light here is green, you're in the quad mode. Let's check it out here. Have to go up and down on the stick to bind it. So this light here is green, so it's in quad mode. And then once you press this side over here, it'll turn red. That's glider mode. And blue is airship mode. So you can easily see which mode you have it in from this light on the top here. And I actually like flying it on the glider mode best, but I don't like having it on the glider mode on the transmitter's control. I would rather have it on drone mode and still have these back motors tilted up. That makes the controls easier for me, a little more familiar, mainly keeping the yaw on this left stick. And it also allows for you to fly faster and fight wind a little better. Although I do not recommend flying this guy outdoors, but you don't have to worry about it flying away too much because it does not have altitude hold. That's one thing that I really like about this little quad. It does not have altitude hold. It seems like these companies have gone crazy over this altitude hold stuff. Every quad that comes out has altitude hold and you can't toggle it off or anything. I mean, it's really annoying for me. It's almost to the point where I hate altitude hold in these little toy grade drones because it just doesn't seem like it's practical to me. And it just makes for your drone to be easily flown away or easily taken away from the flyer with the wind or whatnot, having altitude hold, because you can't just drop the throttle and have it fall down when the wind is trying to take it away. And so that's one of my pet peeves. These little quads all have an altitude hold when they come out. This one does not have altitude hold. Really happy with that. So looking at this transmitter, you also have a button here to toggle off and on the lights. We have trim buttons for each direction here. We have some shoulder buttons. This shoulder button allows it to flip. It only does flips on drone mode. It does not flip in the glider mode. And this button here, I believe, is the headless mode, I want to say. Yes, I think this is the headless mode because the speed mode is down here on the bottom here. It has 3 speeds. It has a pretty decent yaw on the 3rd rate and a pretty decent respectable pitch on the 3rd rate. So it's pretty fun to fly this guy around outdoors and indoors in this drone form. But as far as this glider mode, I would say it's most fun flying it around indoors. If you can get to a gym or a recreation center where you can fly this guy indoors in glider mode, I would say it would be best. This thing is a blast to fly around in glider mode. And it's pretty easy to get it on. The glider wings here, they give you 2 of them. And I'm wondering, how can you get replacements for it? And crashing this guy does like put little wrinkles, and I had a mishap here. One of my kids, my toddler, stepped on this one, and so this one here, I flew it around once or twice for the review, and I'm thinking I can probably put some tape on this thing to try to give it a little more integrity and try to preserve it a little more, because I'm not sure where you can get these little gliders from, replacements and all. Not sure if they're gonna offer replacements for this pretty cool little aircraft. It only comes with 1 battery, so just 1 battery, and this battery is a 300 milliamp hour 1S pack, and it does have this standard micro low-C connector for these 1S packs. So pretty easy to get this pack here, but you have to make sure it's slim enough to fit inside the battery bay of this guy here. And so it also comes with a charger. I did not remove the charger or the stickers. It comes with stickers as well for these little wings. I think I'm going to put the stickers on. That probably would liven up the look of this glider mode here. And it probably adds to the integrity. I'm just thinking about that. It probably would stop it from cracking in certain places. Because as you can see, this thing does crack. You can see the stress marks and all from me banging it around, crashing it and all. But this thing is a pretty awesome little flyer. I really like it. Having fun with this thing so far. And the instructions manual is pretty legible. Nice English. It's in another language as well. Not sure what language that is, but it is English in this instructions manual. And let me show you guys how you pop this thing inside this set of wings here. The hoops on the quad has these little notches on them, and those notches are to hold this little foam wing set in place. We have a little notch under here. Hold on, let's start with the battery bay. The battery bay has a little notch on the back of the battery bay there, and you get that under there. We have a part on the front that clips in. Let's see if we can get it to clip on. There we go. So we have that clipped on, and there is some sort of tape or whatnot lining just the edges where the quad clips on to the foam, I guess, to protect it. So check it out. You just pop those in, and then the battery slides right in here. Here you go. And you plug it in there, and you're ready to go. Well, you also have to tilt it here. It has a little lever under here to pull to get this to move up and down, but I just like to snap it into place. Don't know if I'm doing it wrong or not, but it seems to have been holding up with me doing that all the time. And so it looks like this. It glides around pretty well. It has a pretty nice turn when you're banking with it on the quad mode. And just a pretty awesome little idea. The Air Genius really is genius. Let me give you guys a weight on it, just in case some of you guys were thinking about mods or just wondering what's the weight of this little guy. So with the battery and the wings attached and all, it's 27.2 grams. So the quad is 16.2 grams without the battery, and with the battery it's 24.6 grams. Let's go check this guy out in its various modes. Hopefully this guy doesn't float away. Pretty confident that it won't though. The Hovercraft did fly away on me, guys. Noisy truck over there. Hopefully we don't get a gust of wind. Good thing about this one, there's no altitude hold, so I can just drop it. Worst case scenario, the wind won't take it away. Let's try to take off in here. We have to put it in. We're going to put it in glide mode. Okay. Had to land it. I forgot to put it in high rates. I had to go down to the lower level to retrieve it. Happy it didn't fall inside the pool down there. So let's see. We're going to put it back in quad mode. a little more control. Whoa. The wind is pushing it. I think I'm gonna bring it back over here. Before this thing get blown up in the tree or something. Maybe I'll just slide around in here. Nowhere to turn really. I don't know, let's see. I'm feeling a little brave again. I'm gonna take off with it like this.
Oh, I had to run from the kids. Golly.
Oh!
Oh, you video?
The wind tried to take it.
It looked like it's fighting the wind because when you had it in the house, it was tilted down. Now it's
Oh
tilted
no, not the trees.
up. Put it in the trees, it's going to be
Time to bring this little guy back and bring him indoors. Alright, so I got this thing in its normal quad mode. And so we're going to take it up like this. Got it in high rate. That's the yaw we working with. Forward flight, we're in high rates. Definitely can handle the breeze in this form right here. Try to flip with it. Forward flip. Is it gonna do a forward flip? Yep. Backwards flip. I don't think you can really fight this wind out here. Let me see if I can show you guys the first rate while there's not much wind. This is the first rate. That's the yaw, really slow. Had to switch it to second rate immediately. This is the yaw on the second rate. Hold on, I think the wind's coming back. Yaw on second rate. There you go. Side flying against the wind, side flying with the wind. Forward flight into the wind. Backwards flight with the wind. And we're back in the third rate. You guys saw the yaw on the third rate. Let's look at it again. Pretty fast yaw. The pitch isn't very deep, but it's respectable. Enough to fight this breeze out here. And the breeze is picking up. Let's try a forward flip. So I would say you can fly this guy outdoors in this form here, but it's in its other forms though, I would keep it indoors. My daughter trying to get out here.
Imani, you do it the video. Go in the house.
So I guess that's all it really is to show with this guy out here. Let me bring him in. Okay, let's have a look at this guy in an indoor setting with a fresh wing set. We're going to be in the glider mode. First, we can easily take off from the ground. So, there we go. We're in low rates. That's the yaw right there. And you can see this guy can almost do a still hover. Pretty neat. So let's go for a higher rate. That's the turn radius there on the higher rate. I forgot to go forward. So, pretty fast forward flight in comparison to how slow it turns. We're on the highest rate, and that's the turn radius there. So pretty decent, y'all. It's flying a little faster now. Oh. So a little easier to fly around in a tight space in this mode because it wants to stay put and hover almost. So it only goes forward when you press forward on the right stick. Okay, so let's land it. Now it's a little tricky flying it that way because the yaw is over here on the right side. My favorite is to put it in the quad mode. So we're in quad mode now. You can tell by the green light on it. So let's try to take off from the ground. There we go. So now I have to pull back on the right stick to do a hover. I forgot we're still in high rates. So we're in low rates now. And we banged out. Here we go. We're in low rates. And the yaw is being controlled by the throttle stick. So check it out. It glides pretty nicely indoors. Oh, clip the wing. You can taxi it on the floor a little. Check it out. Okay, so let's put it in the third rate. Let's take off with it. So that's the yaw. Oh, we're going down. Bring it back up. Oh, looks like we're losing battery on it. So this is the mode I think you'll probably have more success with outdoors because it flies a little faster and a little stronger. As you can see there. So before we lose battery completely, let's pop it off with this thing. So let's take off from quiet mode, low rates. Let's have a look at the low rate yaw. Yaw, side flying here, forward flying, backwards. Let's look at a flip while we can. Backwards flip. Okay, so let's go in the second rate. This is the yaw, side flying, forward flight, backwards flight. And really quick, let's go on the third rate. We're blinking at LVC. So this is the yaw on high rates. Pretty fast yaw. Side flying is pretty decent. Forward flight. And backwards flight. Oh, we banged out. Oh. Alright, so last but not least, we're going to try this guy out in this hovercraft mode. Turn it on. Go into hovercraft mode. Just a quick look at it. This is the turn radius with minimal throttle. Ooh. No backwards. So that's it. The Lishy Toys Genius. Pretty genius. Thanks for watching.